Hey y'all, my name's Mara. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about May romance releases. So I had the opportunity to read a couple of releases coming out in May, a little bit early through NetGalley, and these were all three titles that I was very excited about, and so I wanted to record my experience with them and kind of let you know what I think and if I would recommend them. So we are going to be reading, first of all in this video, You Should Be So Lucky by Cat Sebastian. This one comes out on May 7th, and this one is a historical male-male romance centering around a reporter and a baseball player. The second book that we'll be reading is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren, and this one comes out on May 14th. And The Paradise Problem follows Anna and Liam as they have to keep up a sham marriage on his family's vacation in order to gain Liam's true inheritance. The last book we'll be talking about is Better Left Unsent by Lia Louis. This one comes out on May 21st, and this one follows Millie, who's a 30-year-old receptionist, as she one day realizes that all of her emails that she used as a diary have left her drafts and are now out into the world in the hands of her coworkers and the people that she holds close to her. So this one is kind of an adult version of To All the Boys I've Loved Before. So without further ado, let's just get into the books, starting off with You Should Be So Lucky by Cat Sebastian. Hi guys, I am officially over halfway into our first book for this reading vlog, which is You Should Be So Lucky by Cat Sebastian. You Should Be So Lucky is set in the 1960s, and we're following Mark and Eddie. Mark is a news reporter who's doing a story on Eddie, who is a professional baseball player who's unfortunately having a very bad season after coming off of a really good one. He showed a lot of promise and is unfortunately not doing that anymore, and so Mark is doing a story on him. So far, it's okay. I wish I had more to say on this. I actually got like 65% into this, well over 50%, and I haven't updated you guys because I feel like I don't have that much to really say to y'all. I feel like this is gonna be 3 stars, and I'm not disliking it at all. Like, I think it's a good time, and I'm really enjoying the writing. Actually, I think that Cat Sebastian has a very effortless writing style. I'm able to read it and like really see what's going on. It's very, very picturesque, and I feel like I'm actually in the 1960s at these baseball games with these characters, and I really do enjoy Mark and Eddie as characters. I think they are very, very likable, and they have their own personal battles that they're going through, and I really sympathize with them, and I want them to be happy and to be successful. But here's the thing, is that I'm not really rooting for Mark and Eddie to be together. I just don't feel their chemistry. This is definitely a more slow burn romance, and I don't read a ton of slow burn, but if it's all like this, I just don't know if that's necessarily something that's for me. I just feel like it took so long for these two characters to actually do anything about their feelings, and then once it finally happened, I kind of lost interest in them getting together, and we're still not even done with the book, and I feel like nothing has been resolved. I think the main issue for me is that there's a lot of internal monologue going on in this book. So like I said, I'm really enjoying these characters, and I really want the best for them because I'm hearing all their inner thoughts. I'm not really hearing their inner thoughts about each other and like why these two should be together. I just don't feel the chemistry, which is unfortunate because everything else about this book is really flawless, immaculate, truly. Like, I wish I was really loving this. That is just not the case. I have nothing to say to you, so how am I talking to the camera, and how has it been 3 minutes already? Because I feel like I'm saying a whole lot of nothing. I think this book is a little bit too long. It feels like it's taking me forever to read it, which is also not helping, and I'm really trying to push through and get to hopefully at least 75% tonight. I'm gonna try and finish it if I can, but I've been reading this book for over a week, and I keep having to remind myself to pick it up, so not a good sign. It did not get better. It did not get better for me, guys. I am very sad to report that You Should Be So Lucky is going to be getting a 3-star for me, which honestly, not a bad rating. I'm not saying that I didn't like this book, and I feel like I have to keep defending myself. Honestly, I think this book is going to be so incredible for so many people, and I'm so sad that I am not part of that audience because I really wanted to like this, and it just didn't work for me. And I really have to appreciate this read though, because I feel like I learned a lot about myself as a reader and what I do enjoy and don't enjoy in books. I want to preface this by saying this was one of my first dives into slow burn romance, as well as one of my first historical romances. I don't think I've ever read a historical romance, so I think that's very important to note that I had not previously experimented with reading either of these two things. I didn't know that they wouldn't be for me when I requested this and when I picked this up. By reading this, I got to explore those things as a reader and ultimately have found that maybe these aren't my favorite things in books, right? I definitely want to read more slow burn and more historical romance in the future so that I know for sure that that's a me problem, not a book problem, right? But this has kind of solidified that maybe these aren't my favorite things. If it wasn't for the fact that it was slow burn historical romance, I think that this would have been fantastic, like would have loved this. I don't know if this is a characteristic of all slow burn romances or if it was just particularly with this one, but I really struggled to find the plot of this book, and that was kind of what I realized more in reflection, and why I think this was such a struggle for me to get through is that I could not tell you what the climax of this book was. I don't know what the top peak moment was. I feel like it was very much just a character exploration. If that is your thing, you are going to love this book, but I'm a plot-driven reader. I need plot points. I need to know what's happening at each point in the story, and I feel like I always need a goal to look forward to, and I never felt like there was really a goal or an end to root for. This is a hard review to make because, again, it's me. It's not the book. It's definitely me. So if you enjoy slow burn, if you enjoy historical romances, if you are looking for a very sweet male-male romance, this could definitely be up your alley. I just wasn't the intended audience, and I think that's okay. So take my review for this one with a grain of salt. I'm trying to be as gentle as possible because, like, I know this is my fault. I know that this is what I just don't enjoy as a reader personally, so that's why my enjoyment was so low. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with 3 stars for You Should Be So Lucky, and I hope that if you pick this book up, you should be so lucky as to enjoy it more than I did. So we're gonna get into our next book for this reading vlog shortly. Hey guys, so I am now halfway into my second book for this reading vlog, which is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. Honestly, I don't have much to say. Sorry if you hear my roommate's laundry going off in the dryer right now. I wanted to give you guys a 50% update before I went to work because honestly I'm probably gonna finish this book tonight and I won't have time to film an update, so here's the crusty dusty update for you. So The Paradise Problem follows Anna and Liam, and this premise is very quirky, goofy in a very Christina Lauren fashion. Not sure if it's working for me so far. So Anna and Liam ended up getting married 5 years ago almost, because they needed to afford housing on campus, and so the only way to do that was to use family housing. So they got married. I feel like they could have found other ways around this, but whatever. We go with that, and then we're flashing forward 3 years into the future where it turns out that Anna and Liam never got divorced because Anna never read the paperwork that Liam gave her, and Liam never told her in person about any of this. You're definitely having to suspend your disbelief here a little bit because this is an outrageous plot. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. Outrageous. Now, 3 years into the future, after they've been married for 2 years, Anna thinks they're divorced. Liam doesn't. They get back together because Liam's family is asking to bring his wife to his sister's wedding. His whole family has not met his wife in the 5 years that they have known each other, and now they're on this getaway island doing rich people things where Anna has to pretend to be his wife, and also like she fits into this world that she definitely doesn't. Because another thing on top of this, Anna's dirt poor and Liam is the heir of a grocery store fortune. He has to pretend to be married for 5 years in order to get his inheritance. If this plot sounds very convoluted and strange for a contemporary romance to you, it's probably not even that my explanation was terrible, which it might be, but also just because this book is outrageous. I'm not hating that part because I knew what I was getting into. I could read a synopsis. I knew that this was gonna be quirky and fun. What I should have known right off the bat was that Christina Lauren was gonna give me a quirky little heroine that I struggle to root for. Anna is certainly something. I'm finding that I like her more and more as the book progresses, so I feel like I will care more about her character later into the novel, but she is definitely very in your face. She's got a very big personality, and she just says whatever comes to her mind, and for me that doesn't always work. I feel like I'm very hit or miss with Christina Lauren books, and I once had vowed to never pick one up again, but then I found a 5-star read out of them. So now I'm gonna constantly search for that 5-star feeling again. I don't think that we're gonna get that out of The Paradise Problem for a multitude of reasons, but I think that this one will be middle of the pack for me. I think that this is a decent book. I'm having a good time. I think the setting's really fun. I like being on this getaway island. I also like the fact that there is a marriage of convenience going on, and Anna is more tolerable, as I said, as I've read more from her and seeing like these softer sides to her. Beyond all that, what I'm struggling with this book is that this is a romance, and I am struggling to feel the chemistry and the spark between these two characters. They've had these tender moments where they kind of reveal more about themselves to each other, and it just hasn't done anything for me, so I'm not sure if I can really get to a point where I'm actively rooting for these characters, but I am hopeful. Right now I'm at least appreciating that this book is fluffy and easy to read, because I just read a super dense fantasy book that was hard to wrap my head around. So this one I am just diving headfirst into and just enjoying my time with. I think right now if I had to rate it, I would give it 3 stars, but we're gonna see how it plays out. Hopefully it gets a little bit better for me, but I'm okay with just a 3-star read at this point. I'll talk to you guys when I finish the book. Hi guys, so I just finished The Paradise Problem yesterday, so let's give our final thoughts on it. And this book really was just fine to me. I ended up giving it a 3.5 star, closer to the 4-star range, but honestly I just didn't love this book, and I think that's more of a me thing than a book thing, because on paper, this book does absolutely everything right, especially if you like Christina Lauren. I think you are going to love The Paradise Problem, but I don't love the quirky heroines that Christina Lauren tends to write. While I did grow to like Anna more by the end, or Anna, I don't know what I was saying in the beginning of the book, so hopefully I'm saying the same thing, but Anna did not care for her personality, and so it made it hard to care about a romantic relationship with Liam, and so I just didn't feel the chemistry as much. Besides Anna having a really quirky character that I didn't love, I also didn't love the characterization of Liam's father, Ray, and they have a very estranged relationship, and I think it's great to explore that dynamic and realize that not everyone has a healthy father-son relationship. I definitely appreciate what the author was trying to do with this, but I feel like Ray was villainized in a cartoonish way, and I feel like it made it hard to truly believe his actions. Yeah, I ended up giving this one 3.5 stars. I did have a lot of fun with it, and I think, again, if you love Christina Lauren, this one will be right up your alley. Christina Lauren's never been my favorite duo. I had a 5-star one time by them, and I've been constantly searching for that feeling ever since, and I was hoping it would be The Paradise Problem, but it wasn't. However, this was one of the books that I did enjoy a lot by them, so I would recommend this one if you are looking to pick it up. We're now going to launch into my 3rd and final book for this reading vlog, which is going to be Better Left Unsent by Lia Louis. So the last book we're going to be talking about for this reading vlog is Better Left Unsent by Lia Louis. I am, if you noticed, wearing the same shirt as I wore my intro because I just filmed my intro, and you know, we're gonna film the outro to this vlog now because I don't have an update for you guys on Better Left Unsent. The update is that I DNF'd it. It makes me sad to DNF books that like I was really excited about enough to request to read them early. I previously read another book by Lia Louis called 8 Perfect Hours, and I truly loved this one, but I could not get into Better Left Unsent, so I DNF'd it because I do not have time for that in the year of 2024. I truly do not. I feel like I've gotten a lot better about picking the books that I am going to read, so I don't DNF as often as I used to. However, I think that my experience with this author might have just been a one-hit wonder. I'm hoping that's not the case because I have another title by her on my shelf that I still have to read, but I just don't know if her writing style is going to ultimately work for me. So Better Left Unsent follows a 30-year-old receptionist called Millie, and she finds out that all of her email drafts have gone out into the world, and she used them like a diary, right? So she said a lot of not so great things in her email. She's confessed love to people. She has called people things that she wouldn't say to their face, right? So this is her dealing with the backlash of this. And my big thing is that this book was told to me as a romance. It could be my issue, like I picked it up and it was not actually a romance, but it is like one of the tags on Goodreads. But I would say this one is definitely more women's fiction-y. I didn't get far enough into the book to really tell you if this was a true romance or not. There is a character that you can see that Millie is interested in, but I don't really know what's to come of it because I DNF'd this at like 25% into the book, right? And here's the thing, the book itself was not bad, and I genuinely did think that the premise sounded fun. However, sort of like the Paradise Problem, right? I cannot stand a quirky female main character. I really cannot. I can't. I could not really get behind Millie and her actions, and I just truly did not understand what her motivations were for anything at all, and she just kind of came off as immature to me because she's written to be 30, guys. 30, and she was talking like a teenager in her head, in my opinion. I don't get why I would use your work email to do all these things either, right? Like, get a diary, girl, or use like your personal email. Like, don't actually type in the email address of the person that you're sending it to. You can have a recipient, like dear X or whoever, but like, I get for the premise of the story she had to do that, but also like, when you think about it, it's truly just silly that she would do that, right? So yeah, unfortunately I was really excited about this idea, but the execution just was not working for me because of the main character, and I was just not reading a whole book about her. I truly was not. But yeah, that is all my thoughts on Better Left Unsent. So going through the 3 books that we read for this video, honestly, I would recommend all of them. And I know I said I DNF'd Better Left Unsent, but I will say if having a main character who is more immature and quirky works for you, go ahead. Like, if this plot sounds interesting, go ahead, by all means. It just was not my personal cup of tea, and I did really think that You Should Be So Lucky will have its audience as well. I just couldn't really feel the chemistry between the 2 main characters. However, I did really like the setting that we were in, and I thought it was like a good story. It just took me a little bit longer to get into than I would have liked, and I was actually pretty pleasantly surprised by the Paradise Problem. So I think that if you really do like Christina Lauren, this one might be your new favorite. Like, it was really, really fun, and I just had a good time reading most of these books. This video did take me a little while to read because I could not remember any of the main characters until I like went and like looked at Goodreads. So it's been a minute since we started this, but I am so glad to be at the conclusion of this journey, and I hope that you found some new books to pick up coming out in May of this year. Let me know what titles you're looking forward to this spring, this summer, what new releases are on your radar, and I would love to chat with you in the comments. So yeah, let me know if you're planning on picking any of these up, if you have read any of them, what your thoughts were. Don't forget to like this video if you guys liked it, and comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't. I would love for you guys to stick around as I post book related content very frequently here on YouTube. And thank you guys so much for watching. Like always, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye y'all.